Hello, and welcome to another episode of Scavenger Life. This is episode number 289 at scavengerlife.com.
So last week, we talked about free shipping.
Yes.
And the ongoing debate that sellers have, it's with each other, whether putting free shipping, does that make things sell faster? And, our argument has always been, if you sell like commodity items, if there's a factory that's currently pumping out the same product that you have in your store, free shipping is the thing that would help separate you from the competition.
Right.
But if you have one of a kind or rare or uncommon vintage items, then there's less competition and the free shipping isn't as necessary.
Right.
In our opinion.
Right.
But we thought we would just do an experiment, you know? And so we actually put a large number of items in our store for free to ship.
So basically we were trying to pick the things that I pretty much know the price. And the beautiful thing about first class is anything up to 8 ounces is right now at this moment $2.60. So if we bump the price, that's the thing about free shipping too. You bump the price up to cover the shipping.
Right.
Anyway, everybody does it. eBay even tells you to do it.
Right. And so if people are searching by price plus the it's shipping, you're still going to see everything all mixed up. I guess the only way it gives you the advantage is if someone goes on eBay and says, show me only things with free shipping.
Right. It's the search thing.
So we wanted to do an experiment because, we've done free shipping a little bit one time when eBay was really pushing it back maybe 5 years ago.
I don't even remember doing that.
And we were like, forget this.
Yeah.
And so it's only been a week.
Yeah.
So it was like shirts, scarves, hats, ties.
Very lightweight
T-shirts, pants, 1,300 items. And in that week, we have had no increase in sales.
It's only been 1 week, but...
I mean, we have sold some shirts and hats and ties.
But we always sell shirts and hats and ties.
But we haven't sold any more than we normally have. Right. So we're going to let the experiment roll on.
Yeah.
But I just think it's interesting. I guess sometimes when I hear people really talk up, you got to ship for free. Yeah. People really want that. I always get a sense from people like it's once you do it, it's like a fire hose and like it's crazy.
I mean, we have so many of those items. It's 1,300 items. Right. I don't think we said that. It's 1,300 items in both stores. I'm thinking, okay, once we turn on free shipping, we're gonna have sales like every hour. And it's just like, oh, we sold the shirt. Yeah, we probably would have sold that shirt anyway.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
So. We'll see. It's only been a week, but we just wanted to, make that point. And for those people that do sell, who do ship their items for free, I just wonder if anyone has any kind of its measurements, or I know on a forum, and I'll put a link to it. Yeah. There was a topic where someone short and stout.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's a she, but I can't be
sure. I believe it's a she.
Yep.
Yes.
She actually is doing a
the same experiment.
A shipping experiment, too. She's got these pencils.
Yes.
And so she's actually smart. Yeah. I mean, she's doing a real experiment where she's got the same exact pencil, and she has one listing that's for free to a ship and one that you have to pay for it.
The exact same thing.
So she'll actually be able to tell which she sells more of. Yeah.
Good for us, we're just like, we have 1,300 items we put free shipping on. Yeah. Did it work? We don't know.
I mean, at the end of the day, I just feel that people, in my opinion, are not buying because it's, you'll ship for free. They're buying because they want that item. I mean, I guess then it comes down to, but if there's two exact of the same thing, they're going to go for the thing that's basically cheaper,
But here's the thing that's weird. Like we were dealing with a buyer just now, 5 minutes ago, who was like asking for free shipping, wants a lower price plus free shipping. We've been going back and forth with him for a week. Like, I don't know what the deal is.
$15 item.
It's a $15 shirt, or we said we'd sell it to him for $15. And then he said, you can buy this for $6 in other places. And like, we were so fed up with him. We were like, why didn't you? Like, I don't understand. So either he's lying or whatever. But
and then we just blocked him. Because,
well, I blocked him because I don't want to deal with him anymore. I'm like, I actually don't want to sell this to you. But the thing is, for me, and we have to always remember this, it's about unique items versus commodity. If you have commodity, we always use the example, iPhone cases. Yes, you have to do free shipping on iPhone cases. No doubt about it. On a vintage t-shirt that not a single other person on the planet has, not so much, right. I don't think.
Yep.
You know, it's just kind of like, I don't know if it makes sense for us.
I mean, so there's someone out there that's like, well, it's not just about whether someone will buy it because it'll ship for free. eBay's search engine likes free.
Yeah.
It's shipping.
Yeah.
So if you have it on there, it will boost you in the rankings.
Yeah.
And you know what? That very well may be true. And
people are searching. They have the little click box.
So that's what our experiment is. You know, we'll just see. You know, we'll compare our sales of shirts and ties and pants compared to, you know, we'll do it for 6 months or something,
and
we'll
just see, you know,
see if we have.
I did sell a bunch of shirts today, but you know, I've been selling shirts steadily, so I just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, our numbers have not gone up.
It's not like you said. It's not like going gangbusters. I'm just like, yeah, regular sales.
Yep. Something else we've done this week is we've been scavenging for our rental properties.
Yes.
And I only bring this up because in the world of scavenging, you know, we scavenge to sell things, but we also scavenge just for anything else in our lives, anything we need for ourselves,
right? The
clothes on our bodies, you know.
I have a shirt
our
that's
furniture,
holes all in it.
But also, since we've kind of been using our eBay profits to invest in a rental business. One way we do that is we scavenge as much as we can when we do a renovation and put furniture in there.
Because it's cheaper.
So this past week, we actually got some flooring.
Yes.
For free, I've got...
That was amazing.
200 square feet of hardwood pine flooring, which is, if anyone knows about flooring,
it's like
incredible.
Impossible, yeah.
I wish this guy had like 800 square feet.
Because we need 800 square feet.
I'll take 200. We got 2 doors.
Yes.
So we got, and you know, and anyone that knows about doors, you can go to a Lowe's and, you know, you can get like hollow core doors or kind of wood doors.
That are really expensive. If you want like the custom wood doors, forget it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you want a solid wood door, it's expensive at Lowe's.
And we actually scavenged 4 doors at 2 different places.
Right.
So it's a whole process because honestly, I got a quote from I was like, how much is it for a new solid wood fir door at this building supply place that we work with? She's like, yeah, they're about, this is just an interior door for a bedroom. They're about $500 each. And we
were able to find them. 2 of them we got on Craigslist from a guy that was just dumping them. And then we got 2 at the
Restore.
A Restore, and anyone that knows about that, it's just like Goodwill for home
stuff.
It's materials,
right? And
we bought those for $35 each.
I mean, look, the thing is about the Restore, depends on which Restore you go to. These doors are solid, true vintage fir doors, like Douglas fir doors. When I got the quote from that girl, it was on Douglas fir doors. They're $500 each. I bought them for $40. Granted, they had a bunch of paint on them, so we have to do that whole thing.
But these are also solid wood, heartwood pine, or fir doors. I'm not too sure.
Gorgeous.
I mean, these are doors that no longer are made, so they're really nice. And then the other thing we got was like a kitchen island table from IKEA.
It's a kitchen island. Yeah. That's what it is.
You know, with a maple top and just...
It's actually oak.
Oak?
Yeah.
Is it oak?
It is oak.
Cool.
But it's an oak, like, butcher board.
Yeah,
type.
Butcher block,
yeah.
So it's cool. But the thing about, for us is, you know, so we get a lot of the stuff on Craigslist, is we have to drive
2 hours.
2 hours one way, so it's 4 hours both ways. And we've done the drive so much, we just end up doing it.
Yeah.
But really is a long drive, and that's because all the good stuff is in the city.
In the city. And so here's the thing, though, with stuff like IKEA or like not the fur doors, we got those in Charlottesville, but the other doors, which were actually solid oak, we got them in DC. The thing is, if you're going to drive to a place that specializes in those things, or if we're going to drive to IKEA, you have to drive into the city anyway. So we got an IKEA thing for less than half the price of it new. And we were like, if we had to drive to IKEA, it's in the city anyway. So it's the same drive.
Yep.
So we might as well get it for cheap. But it's tiring. We drove on a Friday night. We did hit traffic.
Yep.
You know, I could not even keep my eyes open on the way home. I was like, I'm so exhausted. It's like waking up at 5 a.m. We don't get home till 10.
But when you live in the country, I used to driving around.
A lot, yeah. It's true.
Now that being said, so we saved, money. It always feels good, and that's because, we have an eBay store that buys us our time, and we could use that time to then do stuff like this.
Driving
like it's all
DC.
about opportunity.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we spent a lot of money this week
On other stuff.
and that's on this. It's a renovation we're doing for the second. It's rental. I mean, we really are like bleeding cash. We spent like $17,000 this week.
Wait, how is that even possible?
So
like, I'm not even understanding that number.
So we bought all of these windows and that door.
Oh, the windows. We paid for the
fence.
windows.
Yeah. That was $6,000 something.
It was basically $7,000.
We paid down for the HVAC that we're going to put in
which
there.
was $7,000.
Right. We had to pay so the guy so he could buy the equipment. So that was $7,000, and then we paid for the carpenters, which was
right. That's their labor.
$2,500.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was like $17,000. It's definitely been.
But the thing is, like,
sometimes you have to spend money. Like there's no no way around those kind of costs.
But the problem, yeah, it's a lot of money. But here's the good thing, right? Those windows were half the price of honestly what I thought they would be, because we worked with someone who got the price down because of the colors and whatever and the materials.
Yep.
And the HVAC system, we got 3 quotes on the. I think we got 3 quotes. Actually, it's 4. And this was the lowest quote. It was the best quote. We were like, great, we're going with
And thank God, not only the lowest, but the guy that we felt the best about. So
we liked him the best.
Just kind of an owner.
I mean, an
owner-operated guy, yeah.
Things like an entire house of windows and a door and doors, plus an HVAC system. I mean, that stuff costs so much money. Like,
yeah, I mean, just as scavengers, sometimes
it's tough.
There's no way around.
There's no way. You're like, I can't buy like used systems. I have, and the other thing too is labor. Labor just costs. I mean, the most. Okay, let's just lay this out. This is not shampoo and booze, but it sounds like it. If you do a renovation, if you do a tile job, if you have someone build you a piece of furniture, the highest cost is never the materials. It's always the labor.
Yep.
The end. That's it.
Yep. Skilled labor.
Yep.
And that's good. I would rather have my money go to people who are
do a good job.
And that's good. So yep, that's been our week. Making money but then spending money.
Yep.
Okay, so our week on eBay.
Yeah.
We had another good week. It really feels like this is holiday season. We've had good sales.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that in a bit. We did do some scavenging when we went and bought those doors. We went to Charlottesville. And, we bought the doors, and then we stopped by some thrift stores.
Yeah.
Ones we haven't been to in a while. And we went into one Goodwill where, I mean, it really is. I mean, some Goodwills are really just like TJ Maxx. I mean, it's just only clothes.
Well,
just
clothes like new, cheap. You're not like, oh, awesome vintage. I mean, it's like,
and
it's like TJ Maxx.
And honestly, if we had really dug in, and we've done it before, like, you go through each and every one, we could have found real gems, but I was just like, I don't want to deal with this.
Much.
And then they had a little tiny corner where they just had all their kind of junk, I guess, housewares and,
like furniture and stuff like that.
And then I found, in a bin, kind of covered up, a big lot of paint by its numbers artwork, and it was like all wrapped up in like tape and it had 99 cents on it for, I don't know, there might have been 20 of them.
It was paint by numbers, and it was some original art, and it was some cool looking prints. Like you said, it had that like saran wrap around it, but someone had kind of pulled it apart, so you kind of like put it, you were like, this is crazy. And then you like put it in the cart. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, it has 99 cents on it.
It was great.
I mean, there are some paint. I will have to say this. They are the nicest, most unique paint by numbers I've ever seen. And we've been doing this for a while.
You know, like, it's not like a clown or like a horse on a pasture. It's like this seascape. It's with these like a fisherman on this boat.
But there's that, and then there's like like a takeoff on a Dutch master's still life and stuff, and I'm like, I've never ever seen that. I've only seen like the kitschy.
Right.
I'm just like, what?
So that's always exciting, and I know people know that a feeling when you're kind of somewhere and you're just not excited.
You're like, there's nothing here,
and then you find the thing that no one else saw.
Like basically,
the only thing in the store.
You were meant to find that.
That's right.
Nobody, and actually, people probably picked through it and they were like, "This is garbage," and we're like, "No, this is."
But that's
garbage.
why it's always good to dig. You know, you gotta dig in the corners, because obviously, this was just like a clothing Goodwill, and they don't know about anything else, and so
they're like, "Look at this junky artwork. We should just throw in the garbage. Put 99 cents on it," and we're like, "This is." Literally hundreds of dollars of artwork. It's great.
Now something else I want to talk about eBay, and you were telling me about this, the new return program.
It's in beta, so only some people are part of it.
Are we a part of it?
Yes, we are.
So explain why it's good.
Okay. I don't know why eBay decided that this was going to be something they were going to do, but as we see with hassle-free returns, because hassle-free returns is relatively new, within the last like year and a half or something, the problem is people misuse it, even by accident, not even on purpose. It's like people are like, this was not the right color for me, item not as described, and you're like, you can't, like, buyers don't understand, that's not item not described, that's item, I didn't like it.
Right. Buyer's remorse.
It's the golden word when you call a rep. Buyer's remorse, okay? I learned that from Dan from NY, New Vintage NY. Is that his name? Something like that. So the thing about the beta program, and I have not tried this yet because I've had some situations where I could try it, but I think I had the reps close it in my favor anyway. So I haven't had a chance to try it. And I was super skeptical. I'm like, this can't be true. So if someone's is like, I don't like this color, which I've had happen. Oh, this color was more blue than I thought it was. Okay, not my problem. Item not as described. So apparently you can accept the return and you go through the steps of, in air quotes, paying for shipping. And then when you get it back, if you get it back, you can say you're not going to pay original shipping, return shipping, and you're going to charge a restocking fee, as if someone said it didn't fit. That's what you're supposed to be able to do with the beta program.
Have you ever done that?
No, I just said I didn't do that. You weren't listening. I haven't done it yet because the situations where I had buyer's remorse, I had it closed in my favor. So it's just like, I'd rather do that right now than, or the person just didn't return it in 5 days, so I just got it closed.
Well, to me, this is just the changes they're trying to make when the new president came on. I guess
which was a few months ago.
I forgot his name, but yeah.
It's like Devin something.
6 months ago.
Yeah.
Just the idea is put the power back in the sellers. Go back to funkier eBay. Where, it's more about not just kind of a Walmart having a store on eBay trying to sell, which seemed like what the old CEO was trying to do.
Basically be Amazon.
And more just become, like eBay is the way it is. It's like tens of thousands of people that are selling 100 items, 1,000 items,
Well, and sellers. So the thing about hassle-free returns, which most of the time is great, when they implemented that was kind of a challenge to Amazon. Like, okay, we're going to make our returns where it's like Amazon. Where Amazon, you can just be like, it was damaged, send back, full return, like nothing, there's no check. It doesn't matter. And we saw that as sellers. I've done that as a buyer. I mean, I haven't fraudulently done that. If something is damaged, I'll say it's damaged. But people misuse that return because there is no check and balance. But the beta program is making there like a human check system.
Yeah.
Which I think is good. And look, if someone says, item not as described, they sent me a totally different item, and then you challenge that, I think the buyer can actually challenge you. I don't know how that works, but... So anyway,
Changes.
We'll see how that happens.
Changes abound.
I haven't done it yet. So.
And I also do want to thank everyone for some of the donations that were sent in this past week, just to help. It's with the kind of the its new site, or that's where the money's been going to. So
goes all to keep the site running.
That's very helpful.
Yep.
Okay, let's do our numbers for this week. So, like we said, it was a good week.
Yeah.
In our main store, we sold 52 items.
Wow.
For almost $2,000.
See, I felt like I was shipping a lot this week.
I mean, that's a lot of items.
I mean, 52 items. It's funny because every morning we wake up at 5 a.m. and I'm like, I gotta pack stuff, and apparently I packed 52 items.
I mean, and so think about that. We made about $2,000.
Yeah, it's a high week.
That's an average of almost $300 a day. I mean, that's really a lot. But for some reason, I sometimes think, oh, we aren't doing so well. Because I guess I hear some of the other people who sell, and they talk about making $3,000, $4,000, $5,000
God, if we made $3,000 a week,
which is incredible. Like, if you think about that, if you're making $5,000 in a week, I mean, you're selling $700 a day. And I just think I have to remind myself is that it's always interesting to hear how other people are doing, to learn from other people's processes, but we cannot, or I cannot compare ourselves.
It's just a different
to somebody else, because other people have different equations, and just our equation obviously is not a $5,000 a week equation.
We've never had a week like
and
that.
I've got to feel good about that. It's money that we're making. Well, it's good.
I mean, our second store, we sold 8 items for almost $500.
Yeah.
So that's like a $2,500 a week.
Yep. And
which is a great week.
And store number 2 is still in perpetual. It's basically on
just
autopilot.
Floating.
I mean, people want to talk about this. So we have, about 9. We have almost
1,000.
1,000 items. It's been on autopilot since the summertime. No one is listing on there.
The reason I'm not listing is because our store subscription is the medium store subscription, whatever it's called, the premium, and it gives you 1,000 listings for free. And I kept getting above 1,000 listings, and I'm just like, I'm not going to go above that. So right now we have 991 items. I'll probably list like 9 items just to give it a little boost. Like, stuff's being listed here.
I just think
get it up to 1,000.
But I mean, my point is simply we've continued to sell things even though we do not put anything extra in that store. I mean, right? I mean, $500 in a week for not putting anything in the store, I think that's pretty good.
Look, one item was $250, so that helps a lot. Although it had free shipping.
Okay, so things we sold this week. We sold a rusty ladle for $54.
Now, it's not a food ladle. It's not for like ladling out soup. It was like an ironworks, a metalworks thing that you like melt metal in.
I guess like a blacksmith would.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Like,
so it's a specialty thing. It's something like that. So it's rusty. It's made of cast iron. It weighs like 4 pounds on its own. Someone in London bought it.
Yeah.
And for some reason, because it was like blacksmithing tool category, it wasn't in global shipping, so I had to ship it directly to them through priority. So they paid like $50-something to ship this thing. And
it's one of those items that we found at like a flea market, just on some guy's junky table. And I'm just like,
that looks cool.
It looked neat, and it was $1, so
how much did we sell it for?
$54.
$54, and then he paid I think he paid more to ship it than he paid for the item.
We also sold a rusty fire shovel.
Another rusty item.
Like one of those just like steel shovels that you have for like a fireplace or a,
Yeah.
you know.
They're incredibly useful when you have a fireplace.
And I remember
someone made fun of
some person would message me on eBay and would make fun of us for listing something so high. I mean, it sold for $19.
Yeah, it's $20.
Just because, you know, he's like, this is a piece of junk. It's like a... But I'm like, you don't understand. There's going to be someone out there that's like decorating their house and they'll have a fireplace. They may not even use
the
it,
fireplace.
but they want like a rustic
Yeah.
shovel. And $20, that's a great deal.
The other thing too is, if you have a fireplace and you don't have a shovel, you're kind of screwed. Like, you really need one.
But the answer is, I mean, you can buy.
Yeah, you can buy a shovel.
Just a cheap.
But she
shovel.
wanted that look.
That's what I'm saying. It's
She
not
wanted
about
the look.
It's not about the practicality. It's about
Yeah.
the look. We sold a poster that we got from the Pendleton store.
This was years ago, 3 years ago.
When we were in Portland, we went to the Pendleton store and we actually went into they had these bins of like pieces of fabric.
They're called remnants.
Remnants that you can buy. I think it was by the pound.
By the pound, yeah. We spent $90 on remnants.
And we definitely made our money back.
Oh, for sure. Like,
I feel like if I lived in Portland, I would definitely go there. It's more often. The thing is, we did pretty good, but now I think about it, if you were to go on a regular basis, there are certain patterns that sell better.
Yeah.
And, but anyway, as it's going out, they were handing out posters.
yeah.
And we got 2 of them, and we sold one for $60.
And then we got an offer. It was a low offer. I think they offered 40, and I have it up for 80. The thing is, it's like a vintage style poster, but it's new, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah. So
that's
I wish we had been able to get like a big stack of them.
I think we were just like, oh, we'll grab a couple.
We sold another poster, a David Bowie poster.
Yeah.
We sold it for $100. I actually bought this in an online auction recently.
Yeah.
I think I paid $15 for it or something.
I think you paid $10 for it.
Okay.
Because I remember thinking, okay, we got it for 10, we sold it for 100. That's not bad.
But it's like a poster of a release of a VHS tape of a David Bowie
the
movie.
Ziggy Stardust and the
So.
Space Spiders. Is that what it was called? Sorry, that's not my era. But yeah, it was like the Columbia Pictures VHS and beta release of it.
But
that's how old it was.
Anything David Bowie right now is going to sell well.
So that was a good sale.
We sold a shearling coat for $150.
It was not shearling. It was
wasn't?
faux shearling, but it was a distressed leather coat, and it was J. Crew. So it sold for $150.
So I'm sure other people are finding and selling coats. They're always nice when they sell. The only thing about coats is then you have to hang on to them during the rest of the year.
You have to store them.
I know sometimes that coats do sell all times of the year, but they definitely sell better around right now.
Yeah.
Okay, a couple more things. I mean, the thing about is this week, and the reason why we're doing so well is people are actually buying higher priced items.
Right.
We had a couple of those weeks where it was just like
low
$18 items. So it's really nice when these big things sell. We sold another Kimper, or Quimper, as I say it.
Yeah.
For $190.
This morning.
It's like what, a little powder box or something.
Yeah, it was like this little box with a lid, and I think I had it up for $249, and they offered $190, and of course we were thrilled with that.
It was we woke up to that offer
because we bought 20. It was actually 27 pieces for $25 total. So we paid less than $1 for this item.
And we've still...
So
I think we've only sold half of them.
Yeah.
But each one we sell for $50, $100
$50 to $100
each.
So, look, you can sell the Kimper stuff cheaper. You can sell anything cheaper. But, and obviously it'll go faster. But I've just been like, I'm trying to get as much as possible out of it because I know people collect it.
Right.
So...
And then we sold a firewood holder, just like it's one of those things that is at your fireplace where
holds
you put wood. We find that those sell well. We sold it for $250, and it's just a good example of just well-made things sell well.
So the sides of it were like wrought iron, and the inside kind of U-shaped part was like hammered brass. So this is a beautiful piece. We bought it at an auction for $10. Nobody else wanted it. Probably because it was huge and like no one wanted to haul it home. It's been sitting in our kitchen for like 3 months. And finally this guy said, I had it up for $2.99. He said $250 free shipping. The thing is a monster.
And Ryan never goes for those deals.
I was like, and I did it. I accepted it. I was like, yes, because it's in the middle of it. I walk around it all the time. Yeah. Also, $250 is a great price for something you paid $10 for.
Yeah.
And the great thing was, I have these like huge boxes that are, it's 26 inches tall by 16 by 16, and that was the exact size for
It's a special box, or is it like, where is it?
We found it at the dump.
Oh, yeah.
Remember we found those stack of boxes, and they were all that size?
That's right.
I use them all the time. It fit in perfectly with padding on the side.
Wow.
I was like, yes.
That's awesome.
So that's how I shipped it to. I actually, for all the shipping nerds, it was heavy and it was big, and the bigger and heavier you get, oddly enough, the cheaper priority mail gets, depending on your area. So this person was on the East Coast. They were in Massachusetts. It was $14 to ship.
Wow, that's incredible.
I'm like, great, free shipping? It was $14.
That's crazy.
I don't know how that's possible, but it was.
I really think that when I'm on my deathbed, or my last dying days, the only thing I'm going to really remember fondly are all the things I scavenged, like all the good deals that I got.
You're going to be on your deathbed, and you're not going to be thinking of me or the cats. You're going to be thinking of like the garbage you found and sold.
I'm going to think about. Remember that time when we went to the dump and we were doing our recycling, and we found that huge stack of beautiful,
brand new boxes.
Each one is probably $15 worth.
So
I'm just like, oh, that was such and we
find.
just shoved them in the back of the truck because you're not supposed to take stuff out.
And you know what's so funny?
Let's do it anyway.
You're not supposed to take stuff out of the recycling. I'm like, okay, I'm going to.
It's a safety.
You know what's funny? I sold something else out of the recycling the other day. It was a Chinese checkers.
Yeah, that's right.
Metal
board, like a game board.
It's a metal board, and it was in the metal recycling, and I dove in because I'm like, that's vintage. It's covered in beer. I'm like,
The reason why they have those rules, I imagine, is because if they just said, yeah, go for it, people would be hanging out there all the time, and
stuff.
Guys would be just living down there.
I also think it's a safety thing.
Yeah,
they're like, we don't want you to jump into the bins because you'll get hurt.
Okay, and the last thing we'll talk about, we sold a military camera bag. It's an
army camera bag,
right? Which is a military.
Sure, but it's army green. It's like that green canvas look.
And it's where I guess a guy in the 50s would put his a Nikon camera with his lenses and
the little film cartridge things.
We bought it for a couple bucks at the thrift store.
Yeah.
And we sold it for $100, and it was bought by a guy in Australia who says he's going to strap it onto his vintage
his motorcycle.
It's and that's so perfect. People have this fantasy of I've got this old motorcycle, he's got a distressed leather jacket and a beat up helmet, and now he needs his distressed vintage bag where he'll put his camera. Those are the people we sell to. Is it's about fantasy, it's about a look, it's about design, it's nostalgia.
Right.
That's what we sell. Versus, I think someone on Amazon that's just selling, really practical things.
Sure.
Commodity items.
I will say this about the camera bag and the Bowie poster. Both people gave me low offers. And I knew that both of those were special. I thought they were special. Of course, I think everything is special. But I countered at $100 each. I think the military camera guy did $60, and the Bowie poster was $60 or $70. No, it was $80. It was $80. And I was like, I want $100 for this, for both of those. And Jay was, so I woke up earlier than you, and I was like, $100.
Because we obviously have the same store, we're both on the same account, and sometimes it's a bit of a fight.
Who gets to counteroffer except first?
Gets to counteroffer except we're pretty good about talking to each other.
Yeah.
Should we do this?
But there's sometimes where I'm I'm
do the pros and cons. But sometimes you'll counter, and I'll be like,
I would have taken that.
I would have taken that money.
So that morning, the first thing I hear from you when I get up, I would have taken both those offers, and I was like, sorry, dude, I got up first. And then about like 2 hours later, both of them accepted. And
You're
you
right.
like chatted me. You're like, you're right. They accepted.
You did it. You made us some money.
I was just hoping that both those things were ultra unique.
But like a lot of people say, I bet in our experience, only 10% of people accept the counter offer that we give them.
Right.
Is most people give you their offer, and that's really their offer.
That's it.
And if you counter, it's done.
They're
They either decline it or you just don't ever hear anything.
Or another small percentage will counteroffer your counteroffer.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I'll take it. I'll be like, good, I just wanted them to come up a little bit.
Right. But that might be only, again, another 10%. So we might be talking about 20% of buyers that even go back and forth, you know.
And it's so crazy. You really do get so many half price offers. You're like, oh, $40. Oh wait, I have that up for $100. Like, ugh, people.
But
what are you thinking?
We've been known to take
we've
half
taken
price
some
offers.
half price because I'm like, I paid $25 for that, so I'll take 40.
And if we've had it for a while, and, you know, customer issues, we've had none. It's been, I don't know. I guess it might come after the holidays. We have not been getting the returns that we normally expect during the holidays. You know,
the only customer issues we've had, we mentioned that t-shirt guy. There was another person trying to buy some perfume where they're just like, I want this price. And you're like, okay, I'll do that price. And then they want you to come down even further. And then they want free shipping. And then finally I'm like, I'm blocking you.
Yep.
Those are 2 people this week were doing that, where you're just like, no.
But the thing is, they're not customers.
So those aren't those are potential customers.
No, yeah, but I mean, it's true. Like,
shoes.
those are just, people just trying, it's nickel and dime you. And
you're
just
just like, forget it. Buy from someone else who's cheaper.
I guess it's what I'm talking about, is that we really haven't gotten anyone is returning anything.
You're right. No, you're right. That's true.
Again, that might wait till after the Christmas comes and goes, and maybe people were like, my father didn't like this item, so... But, you know, and if you think about retail stores, I mean, their return rate is between sometimes 10 and 20%, you know, like Walmart, Target.
Right.
I mean, so really, I feel like as eBay people, we should feel pretty good comparatively.
Yeah.
Like,
our returns are super low.
I think I looked the other day and it was like 2.3%.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. That's good.
So, yeah, just things we learned in the forum this past week. It's been good. I feel like everyone's finally kind of come over. It's now the thing.
Yeah.
I really like the category of what is this thing?
I have helped, like, so many people have helped me in that category. Like, I don't even think about it anymore. I'm like, oh, research it? No, I'm just going to, like, ask a bunch of people. And then, of course, well, this week I was like, what kind of rug is this thing? And then I was like, I'm just going to Google it. And then I found the answer, and I answered myself on the forum just in case anyone else, like,
I just like it because some people put details that it would not show up in Google, that only comes with a knowledge and experience.
Well, the other thing, too, is what's great about following that forum topic is I'm learning things. Like, I might not have that item right now. Like, there was this little, like, hand-carved, like, shaker-style, like, wool comb thing that someone posted, and I was like, I became obsessed with it, actually. I was like, I gotta figure out what this thing is. And then, yeah, it was like, it took up, like, literally, like, a half an hour of my time. I was like, what am I doing?
And what is it?
It is a wool comb. But someone said, that looks like a wool comb. And I was like, that's kind of what I was going to say, but it's different than the wool combs I've ever seen. But then someone linked to a listing on eBay that sold raw wool with a comb that looked exactly like that. And I was like, that's so cool. So if I ever see anything like that again, I'll know.
I think that's why it's important, too, is because that's just, like, great free education. You know? So it gives me more things to look for.
Right,
you know?
and know what it's called and know how to look it up. So.
And then there was a woman that came on who was, she hasn't posted a whole lot around us, but she runs her own store. She's got 1,700 items in her store, and she was just talking about how she's kind of getting a little frazzled.
Yeah.
That's a big store for a single person. Who has,
absolutely.
You know, who has kids and, you know, a husband to take care of. And
to take care of.
The thing that always makes me feel sad, though, is when people say they have a husband or a partner, you know, a wife, you know, if it's who is not a supportive of the business. And I never really quite understand that, because especially if the person's working and bringing money in, I mean, cash is cash. If you're bringing money in, who cares how that's happening? And if your partner can stay at home and kind of hold the fort down while they're making income, it just seems kind of crazy to me. Only thing I can think of is that person's partner is not feeling confident in their own life.
Right.
I don't know. I mean,
right.
I mean, did you imagine if you did eBay and I would didn't support you? I mean, that just seems like what kind of relationship
Yeah,
is
it's weird.
that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like our relationship has been built out of mutual interests. So it really helps that we're both interested in everything we do.
Yeah, I mean,
know?
And again, I'm not trying to pass judgment on anyone's a relationship, but I just think if someone's unhappy with how that is, I think a conversation really needs to be in order, because I think I would want to have a conversation to be like, what's the problem here? You know,
right.
Why do you not think this?
There's a fundamental problem. It's not just like eBay's weird, you're weird. It's like, why do you have a problem with me making money? And also, don't you understand if we helped each other out here, we could make a lot more money. You know? Yeah.
So
I don't understand that.
Or we could sell things that you're interested in. It's
right.
Maybe it's because I sell clothes and trinkets. That's not interesting. But it's what if we started finding stuff that you were interested in and sell those things? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to understand. I mean, the things that you and I do are so intertwined. It's almost annoying sometimes. I'm like, I don't have anything of my own.
Is that true?
No. I mean, there's things that I want to do, but it's not based on you. It's based on me having time to do those things because we work all the time.
Like join a book club or something?
No. That's insulting. That's like
what?
you.
I like
that's like you asking me if I want to be in a sewing circle.
I would like to be in a book club. To be honest with you,
actually, that's true because you do like to read a lot.
Yeah.
No, there's just today I did some baking. I've been doing some baking lately, and
I've been enjoying your baking.
Yes. Well, one part of my baking was horrible, so I did some other baking that was better. But I want to have more time to experiment doing things like that, like baking and cooking, and I've been discovering certain things that I like to do, and I'm like, I squeeze that stuff in between other things. I'm like, quick, I gotta make this thing because I gotta go do this other thing.
I mean, we've been talking about that. It's interesting. The whole point of us having an eBay store is to own our time, but really it's we're then using that time because we're kind of excited by building a business.
We're building other businesses in that time.
And I mean, because it's really, we've talked about this. We're at that age where this is the time. This is our we'll probably make more money now than we'll ever make during this time. And when we get older, we aren't going to want to work this hard.
Yeah, I don't. But to get older, I already feel like that.
Get out of here.
Do I really have to list on eBay again?
But at the same time, the whole point of this lifestyle is not to work, have to kill ourselves and put everything off to the end. So I don't know. I feel like we're just kind of in a short period where we do have a lot going on.
Right. We have a lot going on.
Because it has to happen.
Yeah,
I mean,
now.
this. I mean, we're working towards something, and if we can have our eBay business, a rental number 1 and a rental number 2, all at the same time, I mean,
then I can be baking muffins.
A new level of security that we've never had before.
Yes.
And if you think when we started this 10 years ago, when we were living in my dad's basement, basically selling stuff on eBay that was literally
piled on a bed, shoved in a dusty, dirty shed.
My dad thought that we were hoarders. He was really concerned.
He was what are you
about
doing?
The choices I was making in my life.
What? So. This is how we pay the electricity bill, Dad.
He's like, we're scavengers, not hoarders.
Yeah, but tell your
So-
dad now we own 3 houses so he can shut up.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, no.
So anyway,
yeah.
So I totally hear you.
I think right now is a very special period, and I forget that. The last 2 months, actually, I'm sorry, it's longer than that. The last year, we've been working our butts off to save money so we can renovate this house. I mean, every spare penny goes towards that.
Yeah, but you got to think we've also taken some. I think we're good about balancing that.
Sure,
we
sure.
like went to Ireland.
We went to the Pacific Northwest.
That was great. Yeah, and so we're about to go to. So let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Our coming week. Well, on Wednesday we're going to
New York
City.
Yay!
And we're going to be there for a week.
7 days.
We're going to go visit your mom after that. So we're going to have 2 weeks where really we're not going to do any eBay other than just answering people's questions.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
perspective.
Like today, I was like, after last night's long day, it was a long week, and then we had a long night driving into DC and back. And I was just like, I can't wait to go to New York.
Yeah. But, I mean, at the end of the day, don't you still get excited by the stuff we're doing?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Like-
it's not like I'm like, this is horrible. I'm like, I'm just tired because we work so much.
I think it's good for us to touch base on that because, I mean, if ever there comes to a point where the things we're doing are no longer fun or challenging, you
Right.
know, then I don't want to do it, you know.
Look, like having someone who helps me with eBay, more and more I'm like, I just want her to do all the listing. Like, I'm just like, here's how you do it. Just do it. I'm getting to that point where I'm going to be like, you need to write the titles and do all the item, descriptors.
And just to be clear, so, we had heard people on the blog and in the forums talk about hiring people.
Yeah.
It was always interesting, and finally it made sense where I found the daughter of some friends of ours.
Right.
I mean, she's 27,
She's 27.
years old, so I mean, she's it's not a kid.
Yeah.
So I asked her if she wanted to come and work, and you've been doing everything with her.
I work with her.
You guys are like a team,
Yeah.
and it's worked out great. It's affordable. The numbers make sense.
Right.
And so it's really now up to you. So far she's just been kind of starting a listing. She takes photos,
Yeah.
and that's about it. It's really up to you if you want to start teaching her more.
I'm going to, because I like doing eBay. But what I like to do on eBay is I like to shop. I like to research. I like to sell. And I like to ship. There's a crucial part in there that's missing.
Yeah, that
we
piece,
all know
that piece that like the reason why so many people fail at eBay is they don't
like to list. Now, I am clearly an expert at listing. Once she gets that draft going and those photos and the measurements, I'm super fast. That's not a problem. It just honestly becomes a grind where you're just like, I gotta get through 60 listings in 4 hours.
So here's the deal. I don't think that you think like this, but when I hear people talk about, I just want to hire someone to list, like I just want to go buy,
Right.
because it's buying so much fun.
Right.
It's like the treasure hunt, and then I'll just give it to someone and they'll do everything for me. I think we always have to remember that even if we do teach her to list, it's always going to be supervised.
It's supervised.
Keeping an eye.
Look,
Always tweaking. I don't think the work just ends at the buying part.
So part of it is, I'm not going to have her, right now anyway, do the research and do the pricing. Because here's why. We did like almost 300 ties. It's some crazy number. I'll have to check it. There are some ties that are worth like $12. I'm like, okay, it's polyester. It's whatever. But it's vintage and it's a look. And I sold some of those this week where I'm like, okay, this is not super special, but whatever. And then there are ties that are actually worth $100 to $200. And she's not going to know that. I know that because I know the name. It's Burberry. Okay, it's $200 for a tie. Best offer. So you just can't be like, all ties are this price. Or a pair of suspenders I sold for $125 because they were silk, super specialized suspenders. Someone else who hasn't been doing eBay doesn't know that. So,
Well,
you know,
I think we've talked about stages.
yes,
Stage 1 was taking photos. Stage 2 is she starts a
the
listing.
drafts, yeah.
Is she doing any shipping, or does she just...
She does, because when she starts, we kind of, it's hard because not everything is always the same. So I'm like, just put this on here and then I'll change it if I need to.
And then she does kind of a simple title.
Right.
And then step 3 will be she's actually doing a full title and filling in the description and
Filling in the,
right.
what do they call them? The item specifics.
Right. And doing the shipping and the return policy. And then step 4 would be eventually then she's researching herself, because hopefully if she's worked it with us long enough, she's seen enough different items and you've been slowly teaching her what's important about this. And that's why I say the work's not going to ever end. It's just
you're never not going to see what she's doing.
It's just going to change because, so much of what we do sell, the value of it is how we describe it and present it.
And research it.
They aren't just commodity items where, if you just scan it, it's that price, just put it like that,
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Well, I'm excited about it.
The good thing is, honestly, every single time I've worked with her, and this is a couple months now, I guess, it's been nothing but positive. Like, I've never been like, it's kind of, no. Like, I'm just like, I want to give her more responsibility. I want to teach her more. Like, I can see she's clearly capable of all of this. So,
and that's something we've talked about. We're going to talk to our accountant, at the end of the year when we start doing our taxes. And we need to see what it's going to be like to actually have
an employee.
A real employee.
This is a real employee.
With, I guess, a W-2 and taking out taxes.
I have no idea. I'm sure there's someone listening that knows how to do that.
So we do need to. I mean, we want to take the step if she's interested in offering her employment.
Right.
So we need to figure out how to do that, and we'll either go through a local bookkeeping agency, I guess,
or figure it out ourselves.
Or I just wonder if there's like one of those like startups that just have like a simple online program that helps you figure out
anybody knows
payroll taxes.
I'd love to know.
Cool. All right, so let's take any calls that we got this week.
You can always call us at 540-407-8486, and you have 3 minutes to leave a message.
Hi, this is Mila calling from Oregon. I've been listening to you guys for a while, and I feel like I'm listening to you and your partner, and it sounds just like me and my partner. We've been selling on eBay for 10 years, and I swear some of your conversations are just like exactly what we are talking about, sometimes even on the same days. Anyway, I just got off the phone with eBay, and I wanted to let you know that if you want to remove defects, you don't need to call them. You can actually just email them, merchantsupport_NA@ebay.com, so it'll save you a bunch of time not having to be on the phone. Anyway, you guys are great. Thanks. Bye.
So, that is incredible. And I think a rep told me that once, but I didn't believe them. I was like, I don't believe you. But I wonder if you can get cases closed, like the 5 business day returns thing closed if you email them. I guess I could try it. I just like the immediacy of calling and just being like, can you do this right now? And they do it right then. But yeah, I will definitely have to try that. You said it was merchantsupport_NA@ebay.com. So someone should try it and tell me.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Roy. I'm calling from Pennsylvania. I have an eBay store. I do this full time. I actually had an issue came up last night, and something that's I've never seen this before, and I can't find anything about it. For some odd reason, this past week, I've basically been selling between 5 and 10 items every day because of the holidays. I sell between about 100 and 200 items a month in my store. So every morning when I get up, just like probably everybody else, I check my solds, I check, what has to ship, and I pack out every morning. For some reason, this past Tuesday, within about an hour or two time frame, there were 3 items that actually sold, but for some reason went directly into my archive. In my orders, archived orders, it went directly, immediately into archive. I have no idea why this happened, but I didn't even realize because I've been so busy, and my default eBay mailbox or email address is just packed. I don't even check that. I go into, I go right into eBay to do my work. And so these 3 orders were over 3 days late, and luckily one of the 3 people contacted me and said, "Hey, where's my, when are you going to ship this?" And I said, "Well, I didn't even realize that that I had sold these 3 items." When something goes in the archive, even by mistake, there is no way to find it, even in a search, unless you type in a keyword for the item. It doesn't come up in your orders or anything like that unless you go into your archive. I did call eBay. I was on for about an hour and a half last night. Originally, they said it could have been a glitch in the system, but they basically said it was user error on my part, and I think I'm going to get screwed on the shipping delay defects if they come through. So those went out this morning as quick as I could, but just wanted to share that. I don't know if anybody's ever had that issue. I've been selling on eBay since before it was a public company in the 90s, and I've never seen this. There doesn't seem to be anything on it on the net, and I was kind of stumped.
So I'm glad you called eBay, because that was going to be my next thing to say. Call them.
Yeah, I mean, that's like one of those kind of nightmare things. I mean,
Yeah.
we've heard every once in a while someone will call in and just say some funky glitch happens where something like that occurs.
Like their photos are all gone.
I don't know. I mean, that's never happened to us. I mean, we've never really been hit by any kind of weird glitch where...
And I just checked our archive just now because I was like, oh my god, is there stuff that's sold in there? And I only saw stuff that I issued refunds for.
I mean, obviously, I'm sure what you're going to do now is check your archive every single day to make sure...
But you shouldn't have to, because that's weird.
I don't know. I mean, I can only think of 2 things. Number one is eBay, where, they're always changing things behind the scenes, and people might get caught up in some of those changes, which is unfortunate, but it's a big, bad site. The other thing is, number 2 is, I don't know. I wouldn't rule out the fact that maybe you did something weird when you were just on the site.
I don't know. But the other thing, too, is you said you don't check your email that's associated with eBay sales. You should absolutely be checking that. I mean, and if you have a smartphone, which I'm assuming you do, you should be having alerts when something sells.
Right.
So you should see instantly when something sells.
Not only just because it's good to keep up with that, I need that feedback. Like,
if I don't know something's selling,
I live
for the cha-ching.
The cha-ching. I need to hear that every day. And when we have days where that is not happening, it noticeably ruins our moods.
Like, literally, I'm like, I think the world is a gray Eeyore.
I'm just like a little rat waiting for the little food pellet to come out, But anyway, so that's I don't know. Keep us informed, hopefully it's
I would love to know if you know more, because it's odd that they're like, it's user error, and you're like, I didn't do anything,
Well, hey, Jay and Ryan. This is Sharon calling from Chile, Oregon. I'm sure you guys are even chillier. A couple things I wanted to address. One, I wanted to talk to you about your talk about shipping. I never, ever do free shipping either. One of the reasons I don't do it is that if you do free shipping and you offer returns, and then when somebody sends something back, if you don't have a restock fee, you get stuck having to refund them all of that, and you basically end up eating the shipping. That's one of the mistakes I made early on, and I thought, never again. They're going to need to pay for their own shipping, and if I refund, they don't deduct it if there was no shipping to begin with. So that's number one. Another thing I wanted to bring up that I noticed, this has happened to me twice since PayPal has split up from eBay, is I happened to go on to do a refund one day with PayPal, and this is the second time it's happened in a couple of months. I ended up having that somebody was doing a chargeback from their credit card. I was not notified, except probably through an email address that I don't usually go to because I always go to my eBay mail. And they were doing a chargeback that they were refusing to pay for it. So I had to fight it. Luckily, I saw it because you only have a couple of days. So just a reminder to either check your email or just know that PayPal is now accepting chargebacks. And even though it's through eBay, they're going directly to PayPal and not even dealing with eBay as like needing to do a return or anything. So I've won both cases because I could prove that I shipped and it was proved that it was delivered and that there was no they did not say that they wanted to initiate a return. So anyways, that's my 2 cents for today. Happy holidays, you guys, and we'll talk later. Bye.
I mean, and that's the exact reason, or that's one of the big reasons why we've never done shipping for free,
Right.
is because, just like you said, if someone buys something, it's shipped to them for free, they're like, I don't like this thing, and they send it back to you, we lose that
money.
Yeah. Now, we're still going to do this experiment because, like, the counter argument is, well, that's just the cost of doing business, you know? I mean, how often do people return things and you lose that money versus all the people that buy things?
Right.
So we'll see how it works out.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, free shipping is a loss, you know.
Yeah.
Unless you really do add a lot more to the price, but then that doesn't make sense to me. Like I've said,
It costs more. Yeah.
then your item costs a lot more, and then you're only getting the people who are just like, you know, psychotically addicted to just getting shipping free, even if they're paying more. I mean, those people are crazy to me. I know they exist,
no sense.
but I mean, it really is like they're kind of crazy.
So the other thing about the PayPal chargebacks, yes, people can do chargebacks through PayPal. They've been able to do that for a long time. We've had several of them, and I think we mentioned this last week too, or on the forum sometime, where it's like, you know, people will be like, my son bought this without my knowing, and you're like, not my problem. I shipped it to you. You haven't returned it. I'm not giving you your money back, and you'll usually get it in your favor. The other thing I want to tell people, and this is the same with the other caller, if you have 2 different emails and you're not getting those emails from your PayPal account, you need to set up some rules. Like on Gmail, you set up some rules so that any email that comes to that other email gets automatically forwarded to you, because that is part of your business, and you definitely need to see what's going on with PayPal, if there's a case open in PayPal, whatever. That is your responsibility to do that.
And when PayPal does a chargeback, I mean, I think it's only happened to us
A few times.
2 or 3 times over 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so rare.
Yeah.
I mean, the first thing to do is to call them. Because it's always good to get ahead of the problem and not to start letting things happen automatically.
Just call them.
Or through email. You call them, you talk to a real person, and you prove to them that it got shipped with the tracking number. That always solves the problem.
That's always solved it.
They're like, oh, it got shipped? No problem.
Even when I had people say, yeah, number 1, I never got it. You're like, yeah, you did. Here it is. Or number 2, this one guy bought these boots. He said, I never got it. I proved that he got it. He opened up another case. I don't know how he opened up 2 cases, but he did. And he was like, I think he said some other excuse. These were either not as described or damaged. And the weird thing was, PayPal even gave him his money back. And I called PayPal and I was like, like, this is actual fraud. Like, and I won. So
Right.
I was like, he keeps opening these cases,
Right.
you know.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's good that eBay and PayPal have these
the systems,
these
yeah,
guarantees because we want buyers to feel good about buying. Because I know none of us are like that, but there are people that sell online
sure. Who are shady. Yeah,
and
yeah.
where people really do get bad deals and
Right.
don't get the item that they expected,
Yeah.
or it's damaged, or there's something wrong with it, or it's
Right.
counterfeit, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what these systems are for. So when you call eBay or PayPal and you're a normal person
With
that's calm
proof,
and
yeah.
professional, that has a system in place that you can prove
Right.
that you've done the right thing, they're always like, oh yeah,
No problem.
no problem.
Here it is.
You're good to
I've
go.
never had a problem with
Yeah.
a chargeback. Not once have I had a problem with a chargeback because I'm like,
Right.
they bought it. You can look on my eBay page. I have 30-day returns for any possible reason. They never contacted me. Blah 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 blah.
Yep.
It's always been in my favor. So, yeah, just call.
You're a winner.
I try to win.
Okay, that's it today for this podcast. You can check out our blog at scavengerlife.com for any links we talked about today, and you can join the conversation over there in our new forum.
Yay.
Come on over. You can call and leave a question or comment on something that you heard.
And that phone number is 540-407-8486.
So we post this episode every Sunday night or Monday morning, depending on when we have time. Wednesday we post a what sold or what sells its video, and that's been from Steven Schultz, who's been very kind to do that for us.
And there's always a special little clip at the end of the doggies.
People love his dogs.
And the cat.
Yeah.
It's really cute.
He does a really good job. And you can subscribe to us through iTunes or through YouTube. Pick your poison there. And you can listen to our other podcasts if you want at shampooandbooze.com, where we are deep in renovating a second rental. Okay, we are ending this podcast.
In 3, 2, 1.
Bye.